So could you tell me where you first heard about CanSat?
Well, we were invited by the German Aerospace Center to take part in the German national CanSat competition. Well, for Europe, after we won the German national CanSat competition, we decided to take it to the next level, and that being the European competition.
Could you give me a short description of your secondary mission?
Yeah, so we have 5 circuit boards. The second one records temperature, altitude, air pressure, acceleration, and humidity. And also we have a dust sensor and a camera which records the flight.
Could you just talk for a second about the backgrounds of the different team members within CanSat team?
Yeah, so we don't go to one school. We come from different schools all over Berlin. Most of the team members are German, or 2 nationalities, sorry. One being British, and I'm Australian. Yeah, so a weak point would be the organising meetings, because, as I said, we come from different schools, we have different timetables, so over the weeks it's sometimes quite difficult to meet, because where we meet, the orbiter, is sort of outside Berlin, so that's a weak point. We do catch up like every weekend usually. A strong point would be the communication, because we have an email address that everyone uses, and we communicate through a WhatsApp group, and that's quite good. Well, one bad would have been when we had a problem with the software, and the program didn't tell us how the CanSat was angled, because it tells us if it's like when it's descending, if it's descending in a straight line, or if it's sort of on an angle, or upside down even, and it didn't do that, and to solve that problem it took about 2 hours, but we got it solved at the end. A good thing that happened was also when we received about 3,000 euros from the German Aerospace Center for sponsoring, after we desperately were looking for sponsors, and sure enough, DLR sponsors us now. Well, the CanSat itself descends from about 1.5 kilometers height. We have a parachute which is protected with a paper cover, and that cover falls off when it descends because of the descent power, basically. And the parachute is released, and then we have 2 parachutes. One lets it descend at about 8 meters per second, and the other at 11 meters per second. And the landing is uncontrolled, it just hits the ground.
What types of things have you learned so far in conjunction with the CanSat project?
Well, first of all, every one of us probably wants to do something in astronomy or astroscience, and to know how you plan a satellite mission and to sort of have that first-hand experience was very valuable, I believe, and that's a big lesson you learn. Well, first of all, we had a lot of time pressure. We usually started to do the reviews, like the FDR, CDR and PDR, quite late, so we were often under a bit of time pressure. Finding sponsors was difficult. We contacted about 65 potential sponsors, and only 2 of them actually said okay to sponsoring.
So these people that did support you, could you give us some examples of actual sponsors of your CanSat?
Yeah, sure. Well, they're also on the outside of our CanSat. It's DLR, it's the FIETS, where we are sort of located, including the orbiter. Knowledge would be TU, Rotary International Club is a financial sponsors of ours.
Thank you for telling us about the interesting parts of the CanSat project.
You're welcome.